Hey guys, Caitlin here. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to wrap up my school year. We actually wrapped up our school year about a month and a half ago for the 2021-2022 school year. But I just kind of left everything on my homeschool cart in our closet and closed the door and have not really thought about it or done anything with it since we did that. And so now here it is, almost July, and I'm like, okay, I need to go ahead and just wrap up the school year as far as like putting things away. And then that way in a couple weeks, month or so, I'll be ready to get ready for the next school year. Actually need to declutter and organize that closet, so that will probably be a future video coming in a couple weeks. But the first thing I needed to do was just like finish up this school year. So I don't do a lot. I live in a state where we are not required to keep a specific portfolio or like submit any type of portfolio. We are supposed to keep samples of our kids' work, but there's no parameters around that. And so far for me, I just have been keeping pretty much everything. And I mean, my kids are little and we don't do a whole lot of like worksheets, workbooks and stuff. So it's not like I'm holding on to a ton of stuff, but I do try to kind of organize it a little bit, and I'm going to show you how I like store it, what I do with it at the end of the school year, and then also kind of what I do with the rest of my stuff. So like the first thing I do is pull all of our curriculum out that we finished. So like teacher manuals, little readers, that kind of stuff, and I put those on a shelf in our like bonus area playroom. We have a big bookshelf, and so I put the things that we're not currently using like for the upcoming year on that shelf, and then that'll stay there until I have another child that comes up and needs them. And so I just put them on there, file that stuff away. At some point I might put that, you know, in a more organized fashion or filed in boxes or something, but for right now, since my kids are pretty little and my oldest two are just 2 years apart, and so we're just kind of going back and forth with the curriculum, I just keep it on this one little shelf in there. And then as far as all their work for that year, workbooks, that kind of stuff, it's really pretty easy. So the first thing I need to do is, if you've watched my previous videos, you've seen this box right here. This is how I organize our classical conversation stuff by week. So I have 24 folders, and at the beginning of the year, I print off all the worksheets that I want to do for each week and put them in the correct week. So when we get to week 4, pull it out, there's the worksheets. My kids complete them for the week, and then we put them right back in. So now I have 2 children doing CC right now. So I just put one child's in the folder and one child's behind the folder in that same hanging folder for the week, so I don't get them mixed up. As my kids get older and I have more children, I may just have multiple of these folders within my hanging folder. But anyway, so all of their stuff is filed in here still by week. And then in the very back, I keep one pocket or pouch or whatever, hanging folder thing for each child, where I would put other things that were not CC related. So just worksheets that we did. You know, a lot of times I'll print off seasonal worksheets, word searches, unit study type things. So those go in the back. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clear out this little box and combine each of my 2 kids' work into one stack, so that this will be cleared out for next year and ready to go when I reset for our upcoming classical conversations year. And then all this can be filed away. All right, so now that I've pulled all of the papers out of the file folder, I've made a stack for each of my kids. So it's got like their Logic of English workbook for the year, their Right Start Math workbook, any other workbooks. Like we did 2 different Olympics units this year during the summer and the Winter Olympics, and I have workbooks from those that I want to keep. Any papers, all those papers that I pulled from the box as the CC stuff. They each get like a folder from their CC tutors that has their art and activities. So basically just everything from the year. And I have a stack of that here. And what I am doing to sort them, I tried in the past to use like hanging folders inside things, but there's just way too much stuff. It's too heavy. So what I'm actually doing is just rubber banding them together with these big giant rubber bands, and I'm labeling. So I had these papers that I cut out, and I was trying to use them as dividers in a box, and everything kept falling over. So instead I'm just putting on the top. So I just put their name, grade, and school year, because I'm not always going to remember which grade was which school year. So I'll just put it on the top here. Put it on the top, and then rubber band all this together. And then there is the packet of schoolwork for this school year for one child. And then I'll do the other one. Same idea here. And then what I do with those is I have a banker's box for each child. And you can see in here previous packets or what are bundles of schoolwork. So there's first grade one, and there's kindergarten one. And so I'm just gonna now put in second grade. Boom. And then that's it. So there's my banker's box. It is pretty full. So it looks like, you know, be able to get third grade in here next year. But that may be it as far as being able to fit in a box. So I don't know that this is a long-term storage solution, that I want to have like multiple boxes per child by the time that they are done with school. So I may at some point go through and, you know, pull out a couple workbook pages and throw the rest away, just to have a sample of work. But for right now, I just want to keep everything, because I just feel like that's the best way to be able to show what we've done in homeschool. And so for now, I'm just gonna bundle these up and save everything, and then at some point we'll either just keep adding on boxes and they can deal with it when they leave my house and toss it off if they want to, or we may at some point go through and pare it down, you know, when they're a little bit older and I'm more far removed from these. I'm not sure. I know some people like get rid of everything at the end of the school year, and they scan some in, or they, you know, take pictures of it, or if they have to do a portfolio or whatever. But for us right now, this is just simple. Just toss it in a box and stick a lid on it, and then I store these here in my office, which is like our storage room also, or they can go in the attic, and it's there if we need it, but it's kind of just out of the way. So here is my kindergartners. He has a packet from preschool last year, and then I'll stick in his little kindergarten bundle from this year, and then voila. They may not stand up very well for that first couple years, but I'm not moving these a lot. Once I move them into their little storage spot, you know, probably we will not pull these out again until next year when it's time to store stuff. It's unlikely we're gonna need any of this, but that that's pretty much it. Just stick it in there. I've got them labeled on the front with their first names. Once we fill up a box, I may like put on there box number 1, and it's preschool, kindergarten, first, second, whatever, however I end up doing that. But for right now, this is just really simple and really easy and working for us. So that's what we're gonna do. And that is it. We are now packed up from this school year. I'm gonna store this stuff away. And then like I said, in a week or two, I'm gonna clean out the schoolroom and reorganize it. We moved halfway through this school year and I just kind of shoved everything in there and didn't worry too much about it. And now that we kind of have a break, I'm going to try to make sure I get it really good and organized to how I want it for next year, before we get cranked back up for this upcoming school year. So anyway, I hope that was helpful as you are putting away your own things and storing your stuff for the upcoming year, or for your kids, you know, just when you're done with something, whatever. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Bye.